point where you're finally feeling like you're enough. You're finally feeling like you have enough. Even if you don't have a lot, you're somebody who practices gratitude and you're happy with the spot that you are in your life as far as having your needs met. Not saying you live a life of luxury, but you know that there are people out there who don't have what you have, and you're grateful for what you have. This is you also feeling like you don't need anybody to validate you. You're enough all on your own. You can stand under my umbrella. Temperance. This has been a work in progress. It's been a period of time that you've been healing and bringing these traits out within yourself. Like maybe you weren't always so grateful. Maybe you did feel like you lacked or you needed the validation of others. But over time, you've kind of tempered yourself, and the lump of clay that you were, you're being molded into this art piece. 5 of Pentacles. This makes me feel two things: that you could be or have in the past gone without, felt like you didn't have enough, either monetarily or you're just security in general. But this also feels like to me that people that are in connection with you may feel like they're on the outside, like they are losing your connection, that you are walking away from them. I feel like in finding yourself and not needing the validation of others, you may have just moved forward from people that you were previously needing validation from, and you're standing on your own, but that leaves other people without you. Knight of Wands. Once again, two things. I feel like you're focused on your forward movement. You're focused on your passions, on creating something, on following the call of spirit, and you're in hot pursuit of that. But while you're in the hot pursuit of that, those who feel like they have been left behind, and this could be a specific person or this could be people in general. Rihanna just said, I want you to stay. As you're in hot pursuit of something, the people that you're leaving behind may be in hot pursuit of you. Not just something you take, it's given. And my last reading, I said, if I'm going to be giving my energy, this is how I want to do it. I want to give my energy. I don't want it taken from me. And this is somebody who you have left behind who is realizing that, you're right. You're right. It isn't something that people should just take from you. It's a gift. They may think that your gift is a gift, that your presence is a gift. I want you to stay. 4 of Pentacles in the reverse. Once again, two things. You are kind of moving from 3D things and advancing towards what you can create astrally. Like, I feel like whenever it comes to your creation and your passions, you're putting in work in your reality, but a lot of it is up here. You're creating it, you're manifesting it, you're designing it. You're the designer, the architect. And in order to allow yourself to be in that zone, you have to let go of a lot of things that are weighted in earthly possessions and earthly things and earthly matters. But then this is also the people that are feeling like you were holding on to those connections, holding on to people, holding on to situations, holding on to the titles or the labels that you put on your connections or the situations that you were in, and they are feeling that grip that you were holding on release. And I feel like as you're releasing, it makes them want to hold on even tighter. Because it's like I'm seeing like somebody holding a rope, right? And it's starting to slip, and they're just trying to grab onto it and hold on to it because they can feel it slipping right out of their hands. For some people, this is that connection and how they are having this realization that they do truly value it and they don't want to lose it. For other people, this is the potential that you carry. And I don't want to say what you represent, but some people foresee what you could be going into, and this came up in the last reading too. They could be worried that they're going to lose a spot or lose some kind of benefit because of you letting them go. Two of Swords. And people like that, you do kind of need to be aware and have your guard up whenever it comes to those type of connections. It's one thing if somebody is truly valuing you and they recognize the error of their ways, but it's another thing if you know that someone's intentions aren't 100% true, that they may be acting out of their own either abandonment issues or survival issues. Not issues, but like a survival mechanism. And these people, like, they know they're on the chopping block, but you still need to keep up your guard. And some people, they do value you, or they're seeing the error of their ways, but in some cases, it's like, it's almost like it's a little too late. Too little, too late. Because it feels like they should have had this realization. They shouldn't have had to feel the rope going through their hands and slipping before they recognized your value and acted on it. And it's like they know that, I don't know if I said this already, but it's like they know that they're on the chopping block. I just heard chop chop. So some people you may need to let go with no apologies. No apologies. The Empress in the reverse. This may make you feel like in you putting up boundaries or letting go of people that you once shared connections with that you truly cared for, this may make you concerned or feel like you're not being in that divine feminine energy. And I'm not sure who else this could be, but it's like somebody else that you're dealing with, they may be feeling the same way. It's like almost like shame of their actions. But I don't feel like all the time they realized they were doing it. And this is the people that truly care about you. They didn't realize that they were doing it, but now that they have realized it, they kind of feel like a piece of shit. Or like they're not measuring up to their full potential, like they should have played it better or done it better. Knight of Swords in the reverse. This could be somebody who, I don't want to say cut you off from communication, but wasn't communicating with you. There wasn't this back and forth flow. And we had talked previously in the other reading about how when people need you, they unload on you, but then they're not there whenever you need them. And that's what it makes me feel like, is somebody who was out of communication with you, and therefore now you are out of communication with them. It's like what is good for the goose is good for the gander type thing. We got the Knight of Swords again, but it's in the upright. So this feels like this is something that could be fixable, solvable, or it's just the fact that, like I said, some people are coming to this true realization because some people truly didn't. They just were not aware of how their actions affected you or the relationship and the circumstances around that. And so they may be trying to reach out to show up. I'm hearing show up and show out. So they may be trying to communicate, but they may be doing extra. Like extra more than what they used to do. Like just random messages. Like if you communicated before, it could have been more sporadic, but now you're seeing consistency and just little efforts. Kind of like when you know somebody's upset at you and you don't really have anything really important to say, or if you do, you're just not saying it. So instead you do little things to kind of test the waters, or to kind of be like, I'm still here. I'm still here, just letting you know I'm showing up, you know? But it makes me feel like even though it could be to gain a footway or an entrance in, it also makes me feel like it's somebody that has good intentions in doing that because they realized, oi, you know? King of Cups. This is somebody who their compassion for you and how they care for you is real and genuine, and they're trying to show up and extend something to show you that in real life, because compassion and understanding and care are all ideals. They're nothing tangible. So now they're trying to do things to show up, to show you that they care. And now work, 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 work. So somebody is putting in the work now. Like I said, they're doing extra. So they're making extra efforts. You have the Three of Swords and the Moon in the reverse. I feel like this person or these people who have the good intentions, who are gaining that awareness now that's outside of themselves, they're realizing uh, how hurt that you were over their lack of awareness and how you had been hiding that. But it's like you said or did something to show how you are feeling. And I feel like them realizing how much that you were hurt, I feel like that hurt them too. Not just hurt them, but like disappointed them in themselves because they do recognize that you show up for them and they feel like they should have for you, and you shouldn't have had to feel that alone. Rihanna said, "What can I say? Can you recognize I'm trying, baby?" I'm not laughing at the trying thing. That's good. That's awesome. I'm just laughing because Spirit be hitting it. Five of Cups in the reverse. Someone's trying to, like, salvage a connection, or, like, they know that it could have ended in basically somebody saying goodbye, and then all they will have left is the reflection of their memories. And it's like they don't want you to feel sad, and they don't want to feel sad over a loss. So it's like they want to face to face. I was getting ready to say, he said face to face, and I was getting ready to say it's like they want to turn around and see you eye to eye. Like, okay, I'm done focusing, because this is somebody who was focusing on other stuff in their life, so they weren't really paying attention to your connection. But this is somebody who is like, all right, I'm done having my little pity party. Like, we need to readdress this, because no matter what I have lost, no matter what I have been through, this has been standing. Our relationship has stood. And I don't want to lose it because I've been paying attention, putting all my attention on things and factors that I can't control. I may not be able to control some things that I lost, but what I can control is the relationships and the connections that I have, and how I interact and deal with those. How I interact with them, or my lack of interacting with them. So this is somebody who's making effort. I know you can't hear it, but she's doing the work, 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 work again. I would like to turn the music up when I'm doing my readings, but I don't want to go through all that BS with YouTube. Like, why can't the artist just accept that it's free advertising and let me use their stuff? Eight of Wands in the reverse. So it's like, despite whoever making these attempts at communication, it's like there's really a lot more under the surface that needs to be said than what they're showing. Yes, they are showing up where they once were absent, but they're still holding back and they're still not communicating fully. It's just kind of like I said, they're just doing little things to show you that they're there, little random stuff. Rihanna says, "What can I say? Can you recognize I'm trying, baby?" So this could be somebody too who either has a closed throat chakra and they have a hard time speaking up or communicating their thoughts, but it also makes me feel like there's a level of shame where they don't want to speak on some things because there's that little part of them that is not ready to face accountability. And I feel like not just with you, but within themselves. Like, it is with you, they don't want to be accountable for some things, but it's like they don't want to admit to some things themselves. Right? It's kind of like they don't want to say, "You're right. I need to take some accountability for your feelings. You're right. I I treated you like, poo poo." They don't want to say that. But regardless of whether this is general or a specific person, it's like there may be really some kind of deeper thing that they don't want you to know about or they don't want to admit. Like somebody's hiding some part of their shadow. And that could be a part of the lack of communication to start with. To start with. Like whenever you were still being present and there was this communication blockage or whatever, that was part of the issue then too, because they didn't want you to know or to realize something that they were connected to or something that they were doing, and so it was easier for them to just not talk to you, and then you wouldn't have to know or you wouldn't pry or whatever. But it's like a feeling of like they need to get over this blockage, and if they are truly caring for you and trying to show up for you in that way, if you've been vulnerable with them, I feel like you should be given the same back. Otherwise, it's imbalanced. Because if you're able to be honest and open with someone, they should be able to be open and honest with you. And no matter if they're sorry on the inside because they're not saying, or they show up to do these little things or not, it's still a repeated pattern of, I deserve more than you are willing or able to give me. She said, I'll make you swallow your pride. Make me feel like I'm the only girl in the world. Nine of Wands in the reverse. So I feel like you're dealing with somebody who's also kind of like stubborn and pig-headed about the battles that they are fighting alone. And it's like you have this mirroring thing going on where both parties are fighting something or standing against adversaries or obstacles, and they feel like they're doing it alone. They feel like it is their problem, is their thing. Like they don't want to drag anybody else into it, and it may not just be to save the other person from coming into it. It may be because they don't want the other person to know what they're dealing with. But it's like, she just said, baby, I'll tell you all my secrets. And I was just getting ready to say, like, this thing that they've been trying to keep to themselves and this lack of communication and all that, it's like they're stubborn shit. They're gonna have to let some walls down and let you in and be more vulnerable, because the stubbornness is creating issues where issues don't need to be had. Like, I'm the only one who knows your heart. For a ride, take me by. So, for some of you, this is friends, but for some of you, this is a love connection. It could be both. Lord knows we can deal with all of these things that are connected but not connected to each other. But what I want you to make me feel like I'm the only girl in the world is like some of these things that you don't want to talk about, where you feel like that you have to go through alone. It's like the other person needs to realize that you want them to trust you enough to be vulnerable with them. Somebody that you can share your secrets with. You would share yours with them, and they don't want you to feel like you need to defend yourself from them. Like, if you feel like you have the world against you, why do you feel like you need to protect yourself from me? I should be, you know, right there with you, standing by your side. She said, just gonna stand there and watch me burn. It's alright because I love the way you lie. I love the way you lie. And right now we're talking about somebody who is feeling these massive emotions and internal dramas and chaos going on inside of them, but they feel like they can't share it with the other person. And the other person is saying, you're just gonna stand there and watch me burn. That's alright because I love the way you lie. And it's like the other person knows, like, let's say you know when this person is keeping things from you, you're aware, yet you show up and you're still present. And they have an inkling that you know, and I feel like they weren't aware to full extent, but they know that it hurts you, but I don't think they were really, really aware how much it hurt you. Uh, and then I love the way you lie. Like, they know you're not fooling anybody. They know when you're keeping things from them. They know when you're lying. They know whenever you're minimizing. They know. And feeling venom in your words when you spit them. So this could be one, the both of you, this could be a mutual energy. Instead of being forthright whenever you communicate, it's like these passive aggressive things. And it's like, you know, when they say like a tongue has daggers or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Just like what somebody says is poisonous, and it can hurt. And it's like the little things that they say that might get under your skin. It may just be a little thing, but eventually that venom spreads and debilitates the whole situation. And it's like somebody could be internalizing something that they do or have done that they are ashamed of, and then they give the other person little passive aggressive, snide remarks or comments, or they minimize the other person because it makes them feel better about their I don't want to say downfall or what they lack in, but it makes them feel better about being fallible. You know, when you make mistakes, it makes them feel better about making mistakes if they can make you feel less perfect. And it's kind of like I said, passive aggressive, like fighting. But those little things get underneath the skin and it's poisonous, because if you're saying snide comments to somebody or minimizing their achievements or what they're doing or not acknowledging it. It's like they're trying to speak to you. Once again, here's that word vulnerable. They're trying to be vulnerable with you. But whenever you say these things, they're not connecting it in that moment that, oh, this person is only saying this because they have a hole inside of them. No, they're just seeing it as this person doesn't really care about me. Like, they really don't. Like, they put on a good face, but their actions are telling me, because why would you say that? Or why would you do that? Why would you act like that? How about a round of applause? Standing ovation. So it's like you not speaking up or somebody not speaking up brings the other person to the conclusion that there was some kind of facade, that there was some kind of act. And maybe there wasn't really an act whenever it came to the relationship or the connection, but they were putting on a mask because they were hiding some things behind that mask. You tell me you're sorry 'cause you're not. Baby, when I know you're only sorry you got caught. But you put on quite a show, really had me going. That was quite a show, very entertaining. I got the words wrong, but you don't need to know that. But I told you anyhow, because I'm vulnerable. You see how I am? But it's over now, take a bow. So this is someone who is still kind of feeling like, you know, even if the intentions are good whenever they come back in, you're not really feeling like it is because they put on a mask with you before and it felt like they were feigning something. When they come back in being like, oh shit, I gotta show up because I'm about to lose this, no matter if their intentions and their feelings are real or not, now because you have this behavior as a prerequisite, you can't trust it when it comes back in. You still feel like, oh, they're probably just acting. That was quite a show. And it's like this person is turning their back on it because it's like, I'm not trying to, you know? If I wanted to watch a movie, I'd put on some fucking Netflix. I don't want to deal with no fake shit. And that's why the other person being vulnerable is so important, because there's not going to be any kind of way they can prove or show that they're being real if they're following the same patterns that they always have that led them up to the spot. To me. She said, let's hear your speech. So you need to open up and talk, or else they're not going to know. They're not going to know. Two of Pentacles in the reverse. Like I said, somebody's not entertaining the fake shit anymore, and they're realizing that they can't. And I feel like this is the other person too. They're realizing that they can't keep putting on fake shit anymore. They can't keep juggling and having the best of both worlds, or living in a fantasy over here, or showing one person one face and another person another face. They're just going to have to like morph their two faces. Somebody could have been two-faced at some point towards you. They're going to have to morph their two faces into one and show you that one. Let me see the real one. Let me see the authentic one. I don't want to see the mask. Take the fucking mask off. I told someone before, if you're wearing a mask, you cannot be around me. When you're ready to remove the mask, that's when you come back. You can come back to me and talk. We can talk when you take the mask off, because I'm not entertaining it. And Page of Cups. No mercy. And the reverse. No mercy. Like, you ain't got no love for that at all. It's Dark Horse by Katy Perry. Of anything. And I feel like, regardless, I ran out of battery. I mean, not battery, storage. I had to delete 2 apps. So let me do this real quick before I run out of storage again. But Page of Cups in the reverse, reverse, like divorce, like anyway. Page of Cups in the reverse, and the Dark Horse. I'm capable of anything and everything. You not seeing someone's authentic side has triggered the dark side in you. And I'm not saying dark side as an evil side, but I'm saying the protector energy, right? All to me, give it all to me. So you wanna play with magic? Boy, you should know what you're falling for. The Chariot in the reverse. Because I feel like you feel like these people don't know who they're messing with. Like, you're, like in my case, you're playing with a high priestess, right? I've been knowing. Don't try to lie to me. Don't try to hide things from me. If I'm onto something, don't invalidate me by minimizing it or telling me that I'm wrong. Like Jeffrey Dahmer. Be careful. Try not to lead her on. Shorty's heart is on steroids because her love is so strong. And her love is so strong. So whenever she feels slighted, her heart does turn cold as a freezer. She will eat your heart out like Jeffrey Dahmer. The same way that she loved you is the same, with the same intensity that she will dismiss you. Because she loves herself more at this point. Mama's so dope, I messed around and got addicted. And I feel like that's the kind of energy that you have on people too. Like, they cannot, even if they know it's their own doing, like, they can't just let you go. This is something supernatural, something magical, something out of the ordinary. And yeah, they can't let it go. Even if you are an ice cold bitch, there's no going back. Once you love her, you're always gonna love her. And if you lose her, you're still gonna love her. And then you're gonna be feeling like poo poo caca. 8 of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, this person is not tolerating, like I said, not tolerating nothing. Like, I'm not putting any work into any situation that is not putting in the work with me. I'm not doing it. I'm not. And it's like when we got that Empress card in the reverse earlier, it's like this is somebody who used to woulda, even if it was imbalanced, because they felt like that's what they had to do to be a nice person. That they felt like that's what they had to do to, you know, be a nurturer, be a healer, to help others. But that's why the Empress is in reverse now. It's like, don't push me cause I'm close to the edge. Ha ha ha. Like, ha 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 ha. It's funny now, ain't it? It's not really funny. It's not really funny. Like, look what you did. Now I'm hearing Taylor Swift. Look what you made me do. Look what you made me do. I was going to sing the other part, but I know I'll mess it up. What's my name? 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 We have creep. And I'm not seeing it as weirdo creep. I'm seeing it as creep. Okay, now the weirdo creep just hit. Because you're going to have to watch this video. The Lonely Island with Nicki Minaj. There's a song called Creep. And they do this dance. They're creeping. They're creeping. But creep makes me feel like somebody's kind of like sneaking back in there. But kind of down on the low. Like they're not really telling you their full intentions. But also with creep I'm getting is somebody be creeping on you for real. Like even if they're not saying anything, they be watching you. Watching you, analyzing you, admiring you. He just said something about those soft lips. That could be a thing. I mean, I look so pretty right now. Who would not want to look at this? A challenge. Oh, this one's blank. And that makes me feel like you can write your own story. Just because the storyline is headed a certain way doesn't mean you have to stick on it. That means it's manifesting time. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So like also for the person who's being walked away from, don't give up, don't throw in the towel, don't just be like, well, it looks like I'm gonna lose, so I'll just step back. No. Write the fucking story. Write the fucking story. Ain't nobody likes no weak shit. Is you powerful or not? Is you powerful or not? Because if you're going to be in my circle, you're going to have to be powerful. So make some shit happen, Captain. Whenever circumstances are out of your control, are you just going to lay down and go gently into that dark night? Or are you going to rise up and work with something? Work it. I think that's all I'm going to get because I don't want to make it too long. I already done ran out of storage. So this is it. We have fasting. So somebody, like you may actually do need, this is not for everybody, but you may actually need to actually fast or eat cleaner so that you can get a better connection. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water and hydrating so that you can have a better connection and receive downloads more clearly. And like if you are naturally intuitive but sometimes messages aren't really coming in that clear, that might help you. But fasting could also be to abstain from something or abstain from somebody. We have tornado in the reverse. So if you are dealing with anxiety, you're going through a lot internally. Like, I don't know why I'm feeling this internally, but I'm feeling this internally like meditation, quietening the mind, getting, like, it sounds so cheesy, but the stuff works. It's not that hard. Like, I can sit here like this for 3 minutes and be meditating. You don't have to do a long 20-minute whatever. Just if you have a few minutes in the day to sit there and, like, sometimes when I'm driving the car, I'll make it a point to not turn on the radio. You know, because there's so often times that we just keep ourselves distracted all the fucking time that we're not sitting still enough or letting things be still enough for us to receive. So make it a point to, I know it's hard sometimes because God knows I got my phone stuck to my hand a lot of the day, but if you could do it a couple of times a day for 5 minutes, that would be better than the nothing you're giving it.